Woohoo! Pentiment! I'm back. I'm feeling so much better. Hello, I am Normal Mar. PNG Possum Extraordinaire. We're on Act 3 of Pentiment. Klaus got knocked out. And we're gonna do a dang mural. Magdalene. Hey Dad, how are you feeling? Can I get you anything? No, I'm fine. You go on. Alright, I'll come back and check on you later. Okay, we are learning about the town. To paint the mural. What has everybody been up to? Oh, let me see if I can remember. Good morning, Magdalene. Brisk weather today, isn't it? And still Kraft is out there working with Father Thomas to repair the church. I worry about that boy sometimes. He works the stone, but I'm not always sure he has his mind set on it. Oh, this feels a little snarky. Hi, Mercury. How are you doing? It's a good trade. Everyone needs a stonemason now and then to repair things. That they do. Lucky always harped on about how being honest and trustworthy is the most valuable currency. How in this life hard work and reputation matter the most. Kraft has taken that to heart, I think. He does a lot of good for the town. I've offered to find an apprenticeship for him, but he won't make his damn mind up. He deserves a chance at the life he wants. He's lived in his father's shadow for too long. He's a good man, Agnes. You should be proud. Thank you, Magdalene. I've done my best for my household despite what's happened in the past few decades. Oh well, you didn't come here to hear me ramble on about my family. What can I do for you? I thought you might have some additional remedies for my father. You're better than you have been? Yep, me and Furball are doing okay. Werner's not enough. I understand Klaus's condition is dire, but I thought Werner would be able to provide something. I know it won't save him, but I still want to try everything I can. Every little bit helps, I understand. Let me see what I can whip up. I can't promise anything, but God willing, I pray it provides some small help. Thank you, Agnes. Of course, Magdalene, take care. I don't ever remember meeting Kraft in the previous acts, so I don't know how old he is. It sounds like Lucky passed away. Hello, Mistress Druckerin. How is Klaus? Andrus and I have been terribly worried. He's been better. He'll pull through, I have faith. If there's anything we can help you with, let us know. Andrus is always ready to provide. He and Klaus have been friends for a long time. If you don't mind, you weren't born in Tassing, am I right? No, I am originally from Innsbruck. How did you arrive here? The twists of Providence are sudden and unpredictable. I was but a young girl selling all manner of wares on the market, pots and the like. One day this man appears to the stall, all jitters and nerves, stammering over his words, but charming in a way. We spoke at length. I was intrigued and soon enamored, as if a candle had been lit. Andrus is a man of talent and means, after all, blessed with a kind soul. Do you have any regrets coming here? No. It hasn't always been easy, of course, but if something feels so right in your heart, then you have to follow. Didn't you have any lingering doubts? I find it often difficult to discern how right something truly feels. Time will reveal the path eventually, even if fear and anxiety cloud it. I was also frightened at the time, most certainly, having to leave my home, my friends, and family. But it was exciting as well, going off to find new opportunities and build a new life. There wasn't much I had to look forward to in Innsbruck, few prospects for a poor girl. I couldn't see myself sitting at the market continuing to sell odds and ends. Sometimes there are risks we just have to take. That's very inspiring, Ressi. I'm glad you found happiness here. We all struggle in this world, but the moments of joy outweigh the bad. It's how God has set the world, his benevolence guiding us through it all. I feel I've been blessed, and it's not been all bad for Endris either. I assist him with the bookkeeping side of the smithy and other things. Thank you for telling me about your past. It's nothing, Magdalene. I hope it has provided you with some encouragement. Don't forget you are important as well and deserve to live your life. All right, I have to assist Endris with a few things. Be well, Magdalene. Until later, Therese. Oh, that's what Ressi stands for. Hello, Magdalene. How is Klaus? Ressi and I are very worried. Not well, Endris. May God look after you both. We've had enough tragedy in this town. Has Gertrude been by to see him? I'd trust her over that doctor.
What, Callie?
He's sitting over here with me. He's all Dad and I have. I don't know what to do, Endris. Oh, Magdalene, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't gossip. If there's anything Ressi and I can do for you, let us know. I will. Thank you for your kindness, Endris. It's nothing. I owe your father more than I can say. Take care, Magdalene. Magdalene, dear. Good day, Magdalene. Hi. How is your father? He's doing better, I think. You have my prayers. You'll need them with Werner on the case. Anna, do not speak ill of the good doctor. He's doing his best. He's a bitter, washed-up drunkard. Everyone knows it. We all have eyes. Yet we ought to trust and believe in him. It may inspire him to be better. Everyone needs the support of their community, Werner included. Just so. As long as he doesn't get anyone killed with his incompetence. No matter, I'm just glad to be sitting down for a moment. I'm so tired. Andreas and Ulrika can wear down even the most vigorous person. Not even young Otz could keep up with these two. The blessing and the curse of small children. Mom! Ulrika, is she all right? Oh yes, she wanted to run off and hide so I could find her after I've caught my breath for a moment. I don't think she appreciates me taking this long. You're not playing along, Andreas, hiding like your sister? No. This young man won't lose sight of his mom. Say, Magdalene, could you perhaps go find Ulrika in my stead? I'd be delighted. Wonderful, she's somewhere in town, although I'm not sure where by now. She ran up the street toward the bakery. I imagine you can find her by her giggling. I'll be off then. Maglin. Hey, Mags. Got your way with the mural, huh? I didn't expect you to convince the council like that. You think that little of me? No, I'm impressed. The rest of the council has been arguing over the matter for so long, even I couldn't get a word in. Then you come in and shut them up in a few minutes. We could use more women like you in the town. There are plenty of opinionated women in the town. Want to let us join the council? Well, you'd have to take that up with the Lord. Besides, I don't think any of them are as hard-headed as you. You're the exception, Magdalene. You always are. Clearly you've forgotten about Agnes. She doesn't suffer fools gladly. That's not what I meant. She's not... Oh, never mind. Forget about it. Anyway, standing up to the council like that was great. I know I'm on the council, but sometimes it doesn't seem like I have any influence. Oates actually seems insecure about his place on the council. He may be an ass sometimes, but I don't like to see him so upset. Maybe I should reassure him. You vouched for me to do the mural in the first place. Only after your dad did. I still feel bad about that. I should have stuck up for you. Being the youngest one on the council has been harder than I thought. I know Baltus and Werner don't think I'm capable, and even Paul has warned me about being too rash. My dad died trying to make a difference in this town. All I'm trying to do is carry on his legacy, but it seems like the others won't make room for any change. You sound like my dad. He always said that the council was scared of doing anything important. Your dad is right. They're all so old and cowardly. I guess they just want to live in peace, but I want something more. I want to make a difference like my dad did. Oh well, better get back to it. See you later, Mags. Black Till. What's he doing here? Wait a minute. Oh, did she remarry? Hello, Ava. Magda, darling, Utz isn't here, I'm afraid. I wasn't looking for him. No, are you sure? I think he wandered off toward the rat house. Something about the council, but if you ask me, I think he's looking for you. I'm sorry to disappoint him. He'll recover once he learns you've dropped by. He's always working on town council business these days, and he's still working at mastering carpentry, too. I suggested a few years that he take up an apprenticeship, but he was determined to remain in Tassing. I think he's more comfortable here, even if that means he'll never be the craftsman Otto was. I help him how I can, but there's only so much I know how to do. Besides, I think he feels like he's taking care of me instead of the other way around. Funny how time does that. I think Dad misses Mom even after all these years. Do you ever miss Otto? Every day. I see him in the little things Oates does, the way he smiles or how he laughs. I miss my husband, but I'm proud of Oates. He's growing into a capable young man. I'm excited to see him grow into a husband and father. He'll make a wonderful partner. Whoever he marries will be a lucky woman. It's about that time to start finding a match, too. It's wonderful that God blessed Dendris with a wife at least, but I'd rather not have Oates be in his position. Better to marry earlier while he can raise a family. Anyway, I'm sure you have things to do. I'll let you get back to them. Always good to see you, Magda. You too, Ava. Hi, Magda. Hello, Christina. What are you doing today? Helping Mom? Oates is right, you're really pretty. He said that? Uh-huh, I heard him in craft. I see. Don't tell, it's a secret. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I'll keep it a secret. You're funny, Magda. God bless you, Magdalene. God bless you, Till. Do you have a moment? Of course, what do you need? Oh, it says you've been obsessed with your painting. I'm looking into the early history of Tassing for the first part of the mural. Mother Illuminata said your grandfather read about the history of the town. Ah, fertile fields, that is. Seemed like old pot shards and Latin trivia were all he ever talked about. All of Granddad's reading came from the Abbey's library, though, and you know what happened there. Poof up in smoke. Excuse me. So you don't have any of his old books? Only a few. Granddad tried to buy some when the Abbey fell on hard times, but they were too expensive. But I can show you something better than books. Anything would help. Right, so we don't have any books on the old pagans, but we do have their stuff. Shards of ceramic pots and animals, bricks from what looks to be an old forge, mountains of salt. Even found a little bear carved from amber. Where are you keeping these things? Nowhere, we just toss them into piles with the rest of the rocks and root clumps. Sure, it's interesting, but we can't do much of anything with the stuff except look at it. Where did you find all this stuff? It's not just me. Carl finds things. Fabian, too. Any farmer would tell you the same. It's all out there in the fields under the dirt. Can't go one season without turning up something. What do you think it all means? I don't follow. How do you think these people lived? Rough, I'd say, but comfortable. We don't find much of their clothes or their houses, so they must have rotted. I guess that would mean they were living in huts. But their tools are good quality. If they weren't rusted all to hell, I could probably use them today. I don't know why, but I assumed they'd live in caves or in the muck. They weren't Christians, no doubt about that, but they weren't animals either. I'd say they had it hard, but they got by. Not so different from today, really. Earlier mentioned something about salt. Did the pagans start the mine? Had to have, I'd say. Most people think it was a Roman project, but I think the Romans just dug out what was already there. That's why Tassing was so important to the Romans in the first place, salt. I'd always wondered why they'd settled in such a small alpine town. Do you think there's anything left of the pagans down there? I don't know, but anything they left would have to be better preserved than what we dig out of the fields. Magdalene, tell me you aren't thinking of going down there. I am definitely not thinking of going down there. Young lady, I may have been born at night, but I wasn't born last night. I know a lie when I hear one. That mine is hundreds of years old. You could break your neck just getting in there. Orpheus made it back from the underworld, didn't he? I'll be fine. Maybe so, but he mocked the gods and failed in his quest, Magdalene. Don't take him as an example. Imagine how your dad would feel if you got hurt. Then help me get down safely and he won't have to worry. You're bullheaded just like your mother. And your father. Probably couldn't keep you out of there if I tried. Please, Till. All right. Don't know how to get down there myself, but I know those twins have gotten in a time or two. No doubt they have a trick. And Baltus might not be the most reliable man, but I don't doubt he could rig something up for you too. Thank you, Till. I promise I'll be careful. I'm holding you to that, young lady. This pagan history wasn't really what I expected. The past never is. You think all this pagan stuff will make it into the mural? I can bring some of the things the boys and I have found over to the rat house tomorrow if that'd help at all. That would be great. I'm glad you're taking an interest, Magdalene. I thought no one cared about the pagans but me and Granddad. I should warn you, if you do head into the forest, keep an eye out for the Lord's men. They're strict, worse now than they used to be. I'll be careful. Until tomorrow. Until then. Let's go check on Ulrika. And we can also talk to Baltus. Nope, that's not where she is. Aha, there you are. You found me. Bet you can't find me again, Mag. Oh. Gonna play this game. Curl. Oh, there she is. Magdalene, hello. I was just jotting down a few new ideas. Did you need something? Yes, if you have a moment. I need to get into the old salt mine, but I don't have a way down. Can you help me? To get into the salt mine, yes. You must be on quite the adventure. Ideally, we could rig up a double pulley system to lower and raise yourself in the shaft. But that might take a while. Well, I would like to go in today if possible. Of course, of course. Would a good length of rope suffice? You could brace against the wall of the mine shaft. Are you strong enough to support your own weight? Against the wall? I think so. Excellent. Thank you, Baltus. Of course, here you go. Do be careful, though. Make sure the ropes are secure. I will, until later. Good luck, Magdalene. I love that. Go see the inventor to find a way to get into the mine. I got some rope for you. Wow, that's a big help, man. Simple's best though, right? Got you. Oh, you found me again. Wait here, I will find a better spot. No, he's not even in right now. Hello? Oh, there she is. You can't hide from me, little bean. You're too good, Mag. I will go find Mom now. Okay, bye. Nope, that's not what I meant to do. I want to talk to people. Oh yeah, is the inn still open even? Oh, God bless you, Magdalene. And you, Father Thomas? You look troubled. What's the matter? I seem to have lost the key to the tabernacle. Without it, we'd have to go without the Eucharist on Sunday. I'm sure I could find a way to get the tabernacle open. The lock shouldn't be that complex. Absolutely not. I won't have you picking your way into the tabernacle. Even for a righteous purpose, I don't like the prospect of it. And why on earth do you know how to pick locks, Magdalene? All women do. Baltus taught me sometimes the mechanisms in his inventions get stuck. I have to fix them. I suppose that makes sense. Use that talent wisely, Mistress Trickerin. Regardless, I won't have you forcing your way into the tabernacle. I'll find the key eventually. I won't leave Tassing's sanctification at risk. I'll keep an eye out for it, Father. Thank you, Magdalene. Please let me know if you have any ideas as to where it might be. God bless you. Amelie! I wonder if Sister Amelie has seen the tabernacle key anywhere. I should talk with her. God bless you, Magdalene. God bless you, Sister Amelie. What brings you to the church this time of day? Lighting another votive candle for your father? I was hoping to speak with you, sister. Have you seen Father Thomas's tabernacle key anywhere? He's misplaced it. I'm afraid I have not. Everything in the church has been as it should be. Though I did hear the 2 Gertner children come in last evening. I did not rise, but I heard their whispering for a moment. They left as suddenly as they came. Why didn't you say anything? I didn't think anything of it. Many people come into the church throughout the week. This is a sacred space, and the people of Tassing respect it as such. They respect my privacy in this place, and I respect theirs. I see. I've seen the twins come into confession more than most of the young folk in Tassing. Their intentions last night may have been pure. If not, however, it would be Christian to remind them that theft is against the Lord's commandments. Of course, I might go have a chat with them. I advise that you do what you feel is right in your heart. Thank you, sister. God bless you. God bless you, Magdalene. Oh. Oh. Good morning, Magdalene. How's the mural coming along? Well, I think I'm off to start the first part of the mural today. I'll paint the founding of Tassing and the Romans. While you won't want for any models, Tassing is littered with Roman ruins. It's almost a nuisance. What sort of mural are you creating, Magdalene? I believe Klaus was planning on a fresco. Yes, Callie? Sorry, I'm petting her right now. Oh, you know when the cat leans into the pet? Yeah. There's a few different techniques, but I think a fresco suits the rat house wall best. Is that due to the nature of the wall or the style of paints you have? Both, actually. I didn't know you had an interest in art, Paul. It's been an interest of mine since childhood, but my father disapproved. After my mother and I left Tassing, we stayed with her family for a few months before we heard what happened. Your father's friend, Andreas, he encouraged me to draw. While we were away, I studied in my uncle's library. I've collected books about various art styles since we returned. Why didn't you want to paint the mural yourself? I'm not nearly as skilled as you or your father. I know I had my doubts about you taking on the project, Magdalene, but you're the most skilled artist in Tassing. After your father, of course. Oh, well, anyway, I'm glad the mural is going well. Forgive my sudden questioning about it. I've been so busy preparing for the council's next meeting, I haven't had as much time with Anna as usual. She says I get a bit frantic when I'm overwhelmed. Is the council working on something new? We're considering yearly maintenance checks on every house in Tassing. The idea's had quite a bit more pushback than we'd anticipated. I can understand the utility of the proposition, but it might feel like a nuisance. Precisely, that's the issue we've run into. This would help protect those in Tassing who don't have the skill to fix things themselves. Widows like Agnes or Gret. But without instituting it for the whole town, we can't enforce the proposition. In any case, the matter is far from resolved. I imagine spring will come before anything is actually done. I had better get back to work. Thank you for letting me interrupt your day, Magdalene. God bless you. Until later, Paul. Let's go talk to... well, the outer farms. The Bowers, that's their name. I cannot get into y'all's house for nothing, huh? Magdalene, how are you keeping? Fine enough, given the circumstances. Are you getting enough rest? I know how hard it is to manage a house alone, and you have the shop in Mural to worry about, too. I remember Clara wishing she had a distraction. You might see about her helping you and your father through this difficult season. Who's... oh, Clara, yeah. How is Klaus, by the way? Any improvement? You're one of the only people who have asked how I'm doing before asking about my dad. I know how it is to be the sole caregiver. Yourself disappears behind the needs of the person you're looking after. I worry about you carrying that weight alone. I remember when my dad fell. We cared for him best we could, but those few months before he passed were a tough time for everyone. But I believe God will pull your dad through, whatever the doctor says. We need him. God willing, you're right. I am at his mercy. God willing, amen. Have you thought about what you'll do if your dad doesn't come through this? I truly don't know. Best not to dwell on what we can't control. Your dad's fate is in God's hands, and if anyone in Tassing is beloved of him, it's your father. But you're a good girl, Magda. There are any number of families in Tassing who'd be happy to take you. You have someone in mind, don't you? I promise you I do not. Such a modest girl. Your dad raised you right. I mean notes, of course. He's about as subtle as his father, God rest Otto's soul. I miss him. I wish I'd got to meet him properly, I mean. He made an impression, that's for certain. Oh, the girls around town knew better than to moon after him, though that didn't stop some of us. He was Ava's from the start. And so it appears to be yours. But if nothing ever comes of that, know that you're always welcome in my family, Magda. Kraft's a nice, hard-working boy. He's got a sharp mind. He can provide for a family. I'm not sure we're a good match. Not every marriage starts off on solid footing, but if you pray and work and trust in the Lord, you can find it in time. Believe me. You're not making the prospect sound very enticing. Marriage is our natural state. It's in our homes that we're closest to the Lord. The Lord made us from Adam's rib because he meant us to be a part of men. You would be lonely to never know what fullness of... You would be lonely to never know that fullness of purpose. That's no life for someone like you. I don't care about my life. I just want to take care of my dad. And finish this damned mural. Of course, you don't need to decide anything now. Hold your dad close for however long you have him for. The Lord is patient. In any case, I should get back to the chores. Remember what I said. Whatever happens, you're always welcome in my home. I actually have a question about an old book. Martin is supposed to have stolen it from that baron who was killed years ago. Do you know what happened to it? Oh. I hope this doesn't get me into any trouble, but I still have it hidden in a drawer. Martin left it behind when he ran off. Why'd you keep it? What was I supposed to do? The Baron was killed soon after, and there I was holding his stolen book. I didn't want Martin to get in any more trouble than he was already in. I never read it, though. I don't read well. No one would ever know you kept it. I trust you to be true to your word, Magda. I'd like to have nothing more to do with it, to be frank. It reminds me of difficult times. A stolen book of a dead nobleman in our home. Perhaps it spoiled our milk and turned our eggs all these years. Here you are. Please don't tell anyone I had this. Historia Tassii. Oh, it's in Latin. I can understand a few words and phrases. I'll take a closer look in the evening. Thank you, Brigida. You've been a big help. Of course, Magda. Be well now. God bless. You too, Brigida. Until later. Oh, so Kraft is their son, but he's, I guess, working as a... Oh, because I remember talking about Brigida. I don't know if she's actually their daughter, but being like a daughter to Agnes and Lucky, so... Okay. So Kraft was probably apprenticing under Lucky before he died, I assume. Morning, Magdalene. How's Klaus? Enduring. Even when his speech is slurred, he keeps a cheerful heart. I don't know what life would be like without him. Klaus is a good man, Magdalene. Tassing is a better place thanks to him. He's one of the few in Tassing who hasn't been on my back all this time. What do you mean? Don't pretend like you haven't heard. Townsfolk have whispered shit about me for years. So what if I occasionally get into a few brawls? I'm an honest man. I wasn't involved with what happened to Otto Zimmerman. I supported his cause. I've pulled my weight around here, tilled the soil, salted the meats, provided for Brigitte and Kraft. I've done enough backbreaking work for this family. Can't a man just have a goddamned rest? Why are you always getting into fights anyway? Sometimes an asshole just needs to get his teeth pounded in. Does beating the shit out of someone really solve a problem? Maybe. Don't want to solve problems, though. Don't have the patience anymore. Had enough. Just want what I'm owed. Right, I've lost enough time to this as it is. Time for you to go. Until later, Martin. He's still kind of got a chip on his shoulder. These two! Matilda! God bless you, Magdalene. Hello, Matilda. Hello, Waslav. How are you two? Very well. The Lord has blessed us more than we deserve. And how are you, Magdalene? I was worried with you keeping the house and the workshop all on your own. Let me bring by some soup for you and your father. You're very kind, Matilda. Thank you. Not at all, Magdalene. This is how Waslav and I serve Tassing. Our vocation may have changed, but our gratitude to God and the town has not. It's hard to imagine you two ever lived in the Abbey. Sometimes those days feel like another lifetime. A harder time, to be sure. I thought the Abbey was better off than the town in those years. So we were told, but in private, I believe Father Gernot struggled to provide for a scriptorium and a double monastery. However, seeing both the town and Kirsal struggle was only a part of what made that time hard. A nun's life can be a challenging one, but I never had to deal with the difficulties you do now, Magdalene. What about your old life was difficult for you? I struggled with my vows, my discipline. I couldn't live as my sisters did. I broke my vows, as did Waslav. Oh, yep. They did, Canoodle. You fell in love. We did. Oh, that's so sweet. Well, I seduced her. You certainly did not. This is cute. Are you telling young Magda here that you seduced me then? Ah, Warslav, please. So you left the Abbey? Though no one learned of what we did, the matter ate at my heart. That and being falsely accused of murdering the old Baron terrified you, and rightly so. We all must account for our sins, Magdalene. I was afraid I would account for mine sooner than I thought. Those were the hardest years of my life. I repented and prayed to God to absolve me. But the Lord always provides even in the darkest days. The Abbey's destruction gave us a second chance. I can't imagine that the townsfolk were too happy to let you stay. There was some suspicion at first, yes, but we proved useful in the days following, and soon they came round. The Lord forgives more readily than man, Magdalene. Never think that you must remain in a place that causes you to sin, even if others think it godly. I'm glad you two are finally able to live life together. You both deserve it. Only by the grace of God are we in this life together. May it be many more years before we part. God willing. Anyway, Magdalene, I'll send that soup over to you shortly. Thank you, Matilda. God bless you both. God bless you, Magda. God bless. Oh, this is cute. Hetty, what you gotta say? Hello, Magdalene. How's the mural coming? I hear you browbeat the council into letting you do it yourself. I don't care about the council. I only want to finish the mural for my dad. You're a dutiful girl, Magdalene. No one can fault you for that. But you painting the rat house, I can't imagine that would have happened when I was a girl. Only those old Benedictine sisters ever did much art. Do you think they were happy without anyone around to need things from them? What a life. Except for the prayers, of course. Listening to Father Thomas on Sundays is enough for me. Anyway, it's good to see you standing up to the council. That Zimmerman boy seems to have a good head on his shoulders, though. Once you're settled down with him, you'll have a good life ahead of you. It's hard to think of the future right now with what's happened to my dad. Oh, sweet girl, I'm sorry. My mouth goes faster than my head sometimes, or so my Johann used to say. Your dad's only ever been a fair-weather friend to people like me, but he's a family man at heart, and I can respect that. I hope he knows how lucky he is to have you looking after him. He regrets it, you know, what happened the night the Abbey burned. I'm sure he does. He could have made a real difference for us, stuck his neck out, but he was scared. We all wish things could have turned out different, but that's life. Anyway, give my best wishes to your father and take care of yourself. Thanks, Hetty. Until then. Until then. This sounds like I need to get Callie some food, so I will be right back. She is begging for dinners. The beast has been sated for now. Hey, Magdalene. I heard what happened to your dad. How's he doing? Resting. He suffered a severe blow to the head. I'm worried, to say the least. Hans sends his regards. The Bauer household is praying for a swift recovery. Thank you, and thank Hans and Jutta as well. I will. Klaus has always been such a bedrock of Tassing. I'd hate for him to die. It'd be, sorry. It's fine. I fear it as well. It's best not to ignore one's fears. Do you miss your father? Your real one, I mean. Do I miss him? Kind of. I don't remember Joseph all that much. He's become a haze of sorts, a faint echo, a feeling, an occasional emotion. I was so young when he got killed, Mom said I had trouble understanding what had happened for a long time. I understand my mom. She's like an empty hole in my life. I have nothing of her. Yeah, you never even got to see her, right? Not even a memory, huh? Suppose you have yourself for comparison. God molded you after her. I can imagine how she could have been like. Stubborn and unruly, yeah? But can I know if I'm actually like my mom? All I have are stories from people. Well, you read books, don't you? Stories are about things that are true. They're about a lot of things. Oh, well, I can't read anyway. Would you want to learn? Don't have the time. Work on the farm never ends, especially with the taxes eating at us. Anyway, the winter draws closer, so I got a lot of preparations to take care of. I truly hope Klaus recovers soon. God look after you both. Until later, Simon. Hello, Magdalene. Hello, Hans. I hope your dad recovers quickly. He's a good man. I'll tell him you said that. Good. This town has seen too many terrible things, but we've recovered before. Maybe the Lord will return your dad to health too. I pray you're right. Be glad you have this time with him, I say. Wish I'd had as much with Halewig. Anyway, I should get back to it. Until later, Hans. Let's see, we are looking for the Gertners. Oh, Peter. Hello, Peter. Can I talk to you for a moment? Oh, what's that? I was wondering if you could tell me some of the stories about Tassing. Oh, the old tales, It's been so damn long since anyone had a thought to ask me about what I know. But there's still a few of the old tales knocking about in this skull. Are there any myths from even before the Romans came to Tassing? Of course there are. The Romans weren't the first ones to live here, you know. There are spirits older than the saints that live in these woods, older than the Romans. They protected Tassing before St. Moritz ever set a blessed foot in this town. What sort of spirits? The sort that I'm getting at. Didn't your father teach you patience, Magdalene? Sorry. It's Perchta and her wild hunt that scare them evil ones away. They've protected Tassing since its founding day. Long before those Romans, our ancestors roamed these mountains under a great chieftain called Ritus. Wait, isn't Ritus a Latin name? Eh? The ending on his name is the masculine singular ending common on most male Roman names. Plenty of names end with the same letters. Doesn't make them Latin, does it? Now quit your yammering and listen. Folks weren't as kind as they are now, and the tribes fought one another for the best land. The old chieftain was a yellow-bellied coward who neglected the old gods. He was too proud to make offerings. Because of him, the gods favored other tribes, and Ritus's people had no land to call their own. Instead, they wandered through the mountains and valleys, hunting and gathering what they could to survive. One day when winter was approaching, Ritus went hunting and found a wounded wolf tangled in a trap. But instead of killing the beast as most men would, he helped the beast and loosed it from its bounds. Was the wolf a spirit in disguise? Of course not. Wolves are wolves, girl. Spirits don't need the skins of animals for their power. Still, you've got the sense of the thing. The old gods are keen to repay favors done, and Perchta is the goddess of the wild hunt. The wolves are her animals. She leads the wild hunt, and the wolves lead the hunts of the forest. Back in my day, folk knew it was bad luck to kill a wolf. Now I'm the only one who remembers these things. Perchta saw Ritus' action and took favor on him, and told the wolf to lead the chief to her sacred spring. Ritus led his people to the spring and claimed it for his homeland, and we've been in this valley ever since. Then those goddamned Romans came and destroyed everything, but you see? There were other gods protecting this place before St. Moritz. It's why a few of us still honor Perchta. She protects us against witches and fiends. It's a wonderful story, perfect for the first part of the mural. Good, good. Nice to know I can still be of some use in this town. What about the Romans? Do you know any Roman legends of Tassing? Roman legends? Pah! I don't bother with stories from outsiders or tales of gods that aren't our own. The Romans did nothing but conquer our people and destroy this town. We spent generation after generation building Tassing back up from those days. And still our traditions keep dying with no one to carry them on. Only Ursula's given a damn about them these days. I'm asking about them right now. Well, I don't know shit about the Romans anyway. All right. I have a lot to think about. Thank you for sharing your stories with me, Peter. At least someone wants to listen to me. Little Ursula used to sit by me years ago and listen to everything about the old customs. Too busy for that now, of course, but you might talk to her. She might remember more than I do now. Shame the old widow got killed, though. Ortilia knew more about the old ways than any of us. I'm tired. Talking so much has made my jaw ache. I'll leave you to rest then. God bless you, Peter. Big Jorg. How are the hinges on your doors? Excuse me? The door hinges at home, are they in good working order? Well, our door's still open, so I expect they are. Maybe Andrus should take a look at them. I would have asked your father, but well... Anyway, you wouldn't believe how many people in this town leave their hinges to rust. Is that something the council is worried about? Well, Dad always taught me to keep the house in good repair, even if we can afford it. And now Paul would like to institute a yearly check of all homes in Tassing. What do you think of the idea, Jorg? Well, it's not a bad thing, but I don't see why we need to make it official. Everyone in Tassing helps each other. As I see it, if someone notices a house in disrepair, we all pitch in to fix it. To do anything else would be unchristian. But if Paul wants to see it through, I'm happy to go along with it. Makes me feel useful, you know? Speaking of, I'd better get back to work. Nice to chat with you, Magda. See you later, Jorg. Veronica. Hello, Magdalene. How's the mural going? I hope my husband hasn't been bothering you about it too much. Has he said anything to you about it? Mainly he's relieved that they don't need to make a decision about the matter anymore. He runs the farm just fine, but being on the council has made him think he has a say in everything going on in Tassing. Town business is all he talks about these days. Those men are bad influences on each other, if you ask me. Now they're chattering on about a yearly check of the hinges on every door in town. Hinges? Who gives a damn if the hinges on our front door creak? To be fair, if your hinges creak, the door's integrity is at stake. Yeah, well, I don't need to check every door in my house every year like it's a feast day. If there's a creaky hinge, I'll hear it. Anyway, I think it's good of you to be working on the mural. I wish Artemis and Apollo would take interest in something like that. Speaking of, have you seen them around anywhere? I asked them to look after the chickens, but they've disappeared. I haven't seen them recently, but they like to mess around in the forest. Maybe they wandered off there? This town isn't that big. I don't know where they get to that I can't find them. Father Thomas says they're only so much trouble because I named them after Greek gods. He says those names have power, but I still like them. Besides, Apollo and Artemis were gods of virtues. If anything, they should be more well-behaved. I don't think anything will stop the twins from going their own way in life. You're right. Father Thomas spends too much time in his books. Anyway, I'd better go find those rascals. Good luck on the mural, Magdalene. Thanks, Veronica. Until later. Hello, Magdalene, dear. How are you? How's Klaus? Neither of us is doing well. I'm having trouble coping with the stress. Dad's been hard to understand recently. Oh God, I will keep praying for you both. The both of you deserve the best. Life's been hard enough for you already. Please let me know if you need any help around the house. I'd be happy to help. Thank you, Clara. That's very kind of you. I've been so busy in the rat house I've let the house go a bit. Not to worry, I'll come by and help. Besides, then we can chat, and chatter makes chores pass quickly. With all my children up and grown, and no husband to take care for me anymore, I've got to make myself useful somehow. Big Jorg is still in the house, though, isn't he? Oh yes, but he's a grown man with children of his own. He and Veronica are capable of caring for their own household now. Ava is taking care of Waltz, and Ursula and Fabian have their own life together. They don't need me anymore. You sound sad. Oh, well, I suppose I am. I thank God that my children are all grown and prospering, but I do feel there's been something missing in my life. After so many years of tending to them and maintaining a home, I don't know what else to do. You could always find something new to do. Keep busy by helping Gret in the bakery or something. Jorg has been telling me to rest more, but you're right. I'd rather keep busy as long as there's life left in these old bones. Well, that's settled. I'll come over to help around the house soon, all right? I'll see you then, Clara. God bless you, Magdalene. Okay, I go talk to Ursula, and then we're going to the forest. Bum 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 bum. Oh, nope. Or at least not yet. Killian's still here. And let's see, his father is upstairs. Hey, oh, Werner's up here. Magdalene, tell me something. All right. Why was I cursed with a life in Tassing? What does this pathetic little hamlet have to offer a man like me? Tell me, Magdalene. I don't know. What is it you think you deserve? I was destined for the courts of kings. Not a town full of peasants who churn out more of themselves than the rabbits in the meadow. A town where craftsmen, learned men like myself, Baltus, even your father have their minds wasted. And in a few decades we will be dead and Tassing will forget us all. God doesn't care. He never cared for me. He deserted us all when the Abbey was destroyed. If he even exists. You don't deserve this place if you can't see its worth. Just a gaggle of fools and churls. You know I've tried to do what's best for all, but none of you listen. It's only argue, argue, argue. You, Klaus, Jorg, Baltus, I still can't believe you're working with him. You should be at home looking after your father. Pick herbs for whatever provincial remedies you still hold to. Do something you're fit for. I'm doing what's right for the town. What do you even know about what's right? You're barely out of childhood. You don't know what this town has been through and what this town needs. It needs people to tell the truth. This is exactly what I mean. No one wants to hear the truth, girl. You'll never find a husband with that attitude of yours, girl. I'll be fine. For now, before the weight of the real world settles on your shoulders. Your father won't be around forever. May not even last the winter. Then what will you do? If you're determined to be an asshole, I'm going to leave. I have a mural to work on. Do what you want, Magdalene. Just don't ruin the mural. Not that it matters anyway. God, what an asshole. You're the worst. All right. One. Hey, Magdalene. Hello, Apollo. What are you doing? Looking for frogs. Artemis says she saw one the other day and we're trying to collect a bunch. What do you need the frogs for? Like I'll tell you, you'll snitch. If you don't tell me, maybe I will snitch. Your mother won't be happy to hear about whatever you're up to. Artemis always says Mom doesn't care. Mom yells, but that's about it. Sorry, Magdalene, I can't risk this one. Try asking Artemis. Schmucky, do you have any insights? Is there something I can do for you? Knives need sharpening? I'm Magdalene Druckerin. Are you a friend of Smokey's? I'd like to think so. I'm Voxlov. I'm a tinker, travel around and help people out with sharpening knives, little things like that. Druckerin, are you a printer's daughter? I am. My father is a printer. Do you sample the wares much? As often as I can. Voxlov, don't. You're going to get in trouble again. From me? No, not you, Mistress Druckerin. This one can't help but talk to people about all of the strange things he believes. He reads all sorts of books, talks to odd folks, gets ideas brewing in his head. Now that doesn't bother old Smokey none. Bothers some other people a whole lot. It doesn't bother me any. Well, if it doesn't bother you and it doesn't bother old Smokey, sounds like there's nothing to worry about. Fine, you get run out of here again, don't blame me. Again, do I want to know what happened? A long time ago, I got into an argument with some people in town. They told Father Thomas. To his credit, he told them to let it go, but somehow an inquisitor found out. Anyway, I had to leave for a while. So, books? Strange ideas? Yes, the host, the Eucharist, the bread and wine, blood and body of Christ. Holy Communion? What about it? More and more people are writing about rejecting transubstantiation. The idea that the bread and wine of the Eucharist literally becomes the body and blood of Christ. Here we go. Yes? Well, there are two ways to look at it. The first is on the grounds that Wycliffe and Huss rejected it. Using our eyes, our senses, there is nothing perceptible that changes in the character of the bread and the wine. I suppose that's true. Good, but there is also a second point. Even if the bread and wine turn to Christ's body and blood, why is that necessary for spiritual communion? We are bound by flesh, attempting to reunite with the light of God through the Eucharist. The act, the observance, unites our will with that of Christ. He is present in us through the remembrance, not the physical act. Isn't that heresy? Perhaps by the Church's own teachings, even if the celebrant held this heretical belief. The transubstantiated state of the host does not depend on it, only on the rite itself. I'm not listening to any of this. Are you ready to hear why it's important to disbelieve in transubstantiation? Sure, why not? I'll admit I hoped for some more enthusiasm regarding the fate of our souls, but all right. This all starts with Lucifer creating the world. Jesus Christ. We'll get to him. Oh, I didn't even register what he said. Lucifer created the world? What? Okay, that's a little wild for me, dude. God was the Word, and the Word was truth, and truth is light. The light is God's will. God's light contained aspects, what we consider angels, facets of his infinite intellect. One of these aspects separated itself from his intellect and manifested in the darkness as the corrupt will, Lucifer. The darkness? To exist outside of the boundaries of God's infinite light, the corrupt will brought into being an equally infinite darkness. Within that darkness, Lucifer cast his false light, a corrupted imitation of the divine intellect, to create the world. All material in our world is inherently a corrupted manifestation of that false light. We still have a connection to God through our intellect, but it is flawed by existing in our physical bodies. But you still believe we can be redeemed through Christ, right? Well, of course. Finally, some sense. But not in the way that you think. Of course not. The way to be redeemed is to reunite our will with God's. How do we do that? Regular prayer, abstention from material desires, sublimation, and elimination of want. That just sounds like being a monk. No, priests and monks are both our corrupt agents of the business of the church. They have taken the simplicity of holy devotion and profaned it with pageantry. The saints, too, all this talk of Moritz and Satya and miracles, they're just stories. The church has led people astray, put the hope of people in meaningless rituals, faith, and relics. I can see why you don't go into town much. You have some interesting ideas, Voxlov. I'm glad you think so. I've spent a lifetime thinking about them. Anyway, thank you for indulging me, Magdalene. Of course. Until later. And don't talk about that with anybody in town. You are going to get in serious trouble. All right. We're looking for Artemis now. Is that her? Oh, hey, Magdalene, do you need something? I'm a little busy right now. I need you to show me how you and Apollo get in and out of the salt mine. The mine? Damn, Magda, why do you need to get down there? I want to see what our forefathers and the Romans left behind. It's for the mural. The mural? You want to use our secret hideout for your mural? Your secret hideout, but everybody knows you two hide down there. I want to see if they left anything down there I could use as a reference. You're really into that whole rat house project, aren't you? Why should I show you how to get in? Please, Artemis, I won't go in ever again. I just need your help this once. Just like you said you never asked to borrow my favorite scarf again, I need a guarantee, Magda. Look, I'll show you how to get into the mine on one condition. You help Apollo and me with our next prank. No telling, no snitching, no questions asked. Fine, tell me what you're up to. Father Thomas has been droning on and on about the plagues of Egypt, right? Apollo and I are collecting frogs to hide in the tabernacle. When Father Thomas opens it on Sunday, frogs will go everywhere. Why in the world do you want to do that? Father Thomas keeps saying Apollo and I are on the path of the rebellious Egyptians with frogs and locusts. We're gonna prove him right and summon a bunch of frogs en masse. So, what do you want me to do? We stole the tabernacle key, but we need to put it back before he notices. So Sister Amelie was right, you did take the key. Shit, she saw us? Well, she didn't tell Father Thomas, so I guess we're all right. Look, we stole the key early to make sure it was the right one. We'll steal it again once we actually stuff the frogs in there, but in the meantime it needs to go back. I need you to replace the key on the altar in the church. Apollo and I would attract too much attention, but you're the town's goody-goody. I'm not that bad, am I? Well, not entirely. It's not your fault. Oates moans over you. The council lets you get away with anything. Anyway, will you do it? I'll get you into the mine if you do. All right, give me the key. Perfect. Good luck, Magdalene. Let me know when it's done. Can we lie and just tell Father Thomas what's what? God bless you, Magdalene. God bless you, Father Thomas. I found your missing key. Oh, you found it. Praise the Lord. Thank you, Magdalene. Where did you find it, if I may ask? The twins gave it to me. They're planning on stuffing the tabernacle full of frogs. Those fickle little rat bags. No matter how many times I warn of the suffering they could endure if they do not cease this nonsense, they continue in their impious, impetuous ways. I swear the devil's in those children, naming them after pagan gods, and no wonder. I shall have another talk with their parents, I think. Thank you for returning the key to me, Magdalene. Your piety shines all the more brightly in comparison to their iniquity. Don't punish them too harshly, Father. The Lord will see to that, not I. God bless you, Magdalene. Now let's see if that bites me in the ass. If I can lie about the key. Hey Mags, how's your errand going? I told Father Thomas what you're doing. I won't put up with your shit anymore, Tartemis. You bitch. Magdalene, seriously? You always have to play the perfect child, don't you? God! Don't you ever get sick of it? Frankly, no. Bitch. Eat shit, Magdalene. Okay. We gotta find another way into the mine. That's fine. I can't believe you would ruin our plan and tell Father Thomas, Magdalene. It was going to be hilarious, but you ruined it. Why can't you grow up and do something useful with your life? What the hell, Magdalene? Christ, and to think you used to be fun to talk to. Bitch. Whatever. That's the last time we help you. Fine. I'll figure shit out on my own shit. A pig out here? It must have broken out of its pen. I wonder who it belongs to. Oh, right, okay, then the twins were a different way down into the mine. Yep, we're gonna go down. Tie the rope securely. Let's go. Let's fucking go. A lot of different coins down here. How odd. It's not like this is a saint's well. A tablet, they're still writing on it. Oh, it's a poem. I think it's a love note. Rising passion. I hope her lover was better at things other than poetry. Oh. That's cute. I don't need to be a hater. This looks like a larger version of some of Baltus's contraptions. This winch must have been attached to some sort of hauling and pulling system. Fascinating. Now that I'm down here, I should see what I can find from the Roman era and before. Bones, they're far too big to be human. Cave? A piece of pottery, it's beautiful. This peach looks like it matches. Oh, we're finding potteries. These must be the same kind of figurines Till and the other farmers find in the fields. To think that there were so many remnants of our ancestors scattered in fields and caves like this. Pot. Wonder if it's all the same pot. 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 And pot. There's a Latin inscription here. Tassia, give me water, or Pluto, preserve me. This salt is drawing me to death. Yikes, doesn't sound like working down here was pleasant. Yikes. Oh, what's down here? This almost looks like an altar, but what would an altar be doing in a salt mine? It's even carved out of the salt. I think it's a statue of Mithras. He's usually depicted with a dagger and torch. It's less detailed than I expected. Somebody's stick drawing of Mithras. That looks like... is that the abbey and stuff? Or the... oh, this looks like a Roman map of Tassing. I wonder what's changed. Let's see if I can map everything out. There's the aqueduct in the spring. The abbey was an old fort up on the hill, and there's the rest of the town. Wait, what's this building? I don't recognize it. Mithraeum. I don't recognize that word from any of my books. I can't quite tell what it's meant to label on the map. Maybe some sort of temple. Well, whatever it is, it's not in Tassing now. That's so odd. Another inscription. It's not very formal. A word Let's move you up there out of the way. No. That mean that you're over here then? Who knows? Oh wait, this might... It says pottery, but it's not a pot necessarily. It's a plate of some kind. So we have these outside edges. Let's see. Yes. Not quite sure about you, buddy. Nope. You're probably somewhere up here. Got a couple of you. Things with the jagged edges. Oh, nope. No. Shh. I wish I could put them back. They're all crowding. It's just all crowding and stuff. No. Oh my god. Let me try this. There we go. There we go. Alright, alright, alright. Alright. There we go. Alright, alright. Bottom half has done. So probably this one will go here, most likely. There we go. Shtabam. Nope. Wrong one. Perfect. I'm gonna guess that's where this goes. Shtabam. Shtabooey. I know how to play video games. I don't know how to do puzzles. The figures on this pot lid look like they're telling a story. These paintings must depict an early myth even before the Romans. Let's see, this must be Perkta, and those must be forest spirits, part of the wild hunt. Oh god, the next part looks like a human sacrifice. Someone, maybe a chieftain, is sacrificing a man to Perkta. The bottom half of the lid continues the story. These look like spirits. They must be coming in to feast on the sacrifice. That must be how our ancestors tried to keep Tassing safe. They offered sacrifices to Perkta. This is part of our history, but I'm not sure this is the best story to portray. I'll have to think more about it before I decide for certain. Alright, I'd better keep going before I run out of oil in my lamp. Cave-in. The wood here looks newer than the first part of the mine. Was this collapse recent? I won't be able to go any further with all the rubble. I suppose this is as far as I can go. Still, the murals on the wall showed me what Tassing was like when the Romans were here. I wonder if I can find out what the Mithraeum was, or what it is. And putting the pottery shard back together showed one of the earliest stories of Tassing. I think I've seen everything I can down here and my oil is running out. Time to climb back out! Dun 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 dun. Oh no! Wait, who's that? Hello, is someone there? Oh! I'd better get out of this shaft before another rock comes crashing down. I saw a beard. Can she get up to the wall? Who was that? Even Apollo and Artemis would have helped me out of here. Well, now that I have more information, I can make some decisions on the first section of the mural. I wonder if Ursula can talk yet. Also, who's Piggy? Whoa! Holler, you. Yes? I'm Holler Brant, the Lord's gamekeeper. Oh! Why are you grazing pigs in the woods? I'm not. That's not my pig. I've been walking around this forest for hours. Other than the charcoal burner and the tinker, you're the only other person I've seen. If the pig doesn't belong to you, what are you doing here? I was in the salt mine. Doing what? Wait, I don't care. Just tell me whose pig this is. I don't know. The pig was in the woods when I came in here. Ah, mysterious lost pig, who apparently belongs to no one. I suppose so. Oh, jeez. If I find any more pigs in these woods, I'll kill them on the spot. And those who brought them here. Do you understand? Yes. Good. Remind your neighbors what happens when you break the Lord's laws. I knew the Lord's men patrolled these woods, but I've never seen one before. I didn't realize they were so strict. I suppose I should consider myself lucky. Anyway, time to get out of these woods and back to work at the rat house. Oofa doofa. Screw off! Whatever. You turds. Oh, there's also the book to read. Right? Am I at the right spot? I don't think I am. I guess I'm going home first. Magdalene, dear. Hello, Claire. Thank you again for helping me look after the house. I can't tell you how much more time this gives me to work on the mural. Oh, it's no trouble. You have your hands full as it is. I know Dad really enjoys the company while I'm working, too. Yes, he sleeps most of the day, but he's been in good spirits whenever I drop in on him. You two keep a clean house, too. Well, aside from the workshop, but I can't blame you for that. I've left that to you to take care of. I don't want to damage any of your supplies. Thank you, Clara. Truly, you've been such a blessing to us both. Oh, you're such a dear, Magdalene. God bless you. All right. What all am I doing right now? Get at the writing table. No. Not tired right now. Where am I going next? I went to the rat house. I need to learn about the Mithraeum. We have the book. It said to go to the rat house, right? There you are. Had enough of hiding, Ulrika? Yes. Magda found me so quick, she's a good finder. No one can escape me, little one. I'll hide better next time. I'm hungry now. We'll have to get you something to eat then, little dove. Pretzel? Oh, is that what a proper child eats? Thank you for your time, Magdalene. Always glad to play with the children, but I really have to go now. I can't wait to see what you'll end up painting. You will do us proud, I am sure of that. I hope to until later. There's nothing in here right now. Oh boy. Unless we go find out whose pig it was. Magdalene, darling. Good morning, Gret. It smells heavenly in here. Oh, I've just finished rolling out some raisin bread. I thought that Andreas and Ulrika could use a treat today. Any special occasion? Oh, not really. I didn't want the raisins to go to waste. Besides, I like to drop in on Anna and see my grandchildren. I'm more blessed than I ever imagined I would be. Paul and Anna make such a lovely pair. Ulrich wouldn't believe his eyes if he saw us now. I wish he could see his grandchildren. I did always think it was strange that your daughter married the son of the man who killed your husband. Don't say that. Oh, I never even thought about that, honestly. I'm sure he's rejoicing with all the saints in heaven, Gret. I do hope so. He was never much for emotional displays, but I still remember his joy when Anna was born. You know, I was angry when Anna first took a liking to young Paul. He was always a quiet boy, but I was afraid he'd turn out like his father. Well, I needn't have worried. Paul is a good man and a good father. He's built this town back up from what it was. And Elsie dotes on those children more than I do. She's certainly come a long way from the meek woman I met. She seems so kind, though. I can't imagine her as anything else. Ah, well, Lenhart was a hard man to live with. He had a firm hand. You wouldn't know it by how she and Paul are, the kindest souls you'll ever meet. I've been chatting too long. My doughs need tending. Please excuse me, Magdalene. Of course, Gret. Until later. Oh. Go talk to Veronica and Jorg about their devil children. No. What am I missing? Did you need something? How are you doing? Fine enough, weather's getting colder. And the family? Healthy and hardworking. Simon's taking care of the winter provisions. He's a good boy, proud of him. And you know how beautiful and kind-hearted Yuta is. Just like her mother, I don't know how I got so lucky. She's a miracle. She will marry a good man soon, I'm sure. Do you have someone in mind? That young Utz is a good man, I've noticed. He's solid enough. Takes after his father. All the same, when Yuta has children one day, they'll be beautiful and kind like their mother. There are worse things to be, I guess. I did my best to raise her right, but her best qualities are all Helvig. Give yourself a little credit, Hans. Kind of you to say, Magdalene. I should get back to it until later. Until then. Okay, so his wife died, and this is his daughter. And... Is there anybody... Oh, I should go up to the Abbey. I didn't even think of going up there. Whoops, I did not mean to click that. Martha. Oh, hello, Magda. You wouldn't happen to be going to the convent? Perhaps later. What brings you here? I don't know if I should talk about this. I'm thinking about joining the Poor Clares. She's the oldest unmarried woman in town. Our choices here are limited, but joining the order is a big commitment. This may not be the wisest plan. Carl needs help around the house, and she seems unsure. Why on earth would you want to do that? Be honest, what do I have to look forward to? With Dad's injury and me unwed at 25, older than all the boys in town? If they don't see me as a sister, they see me as a mom. And when Dad dies, not anytime soon, God willing, I won't be able to claim the farm. I'll lose my home. With Anton gone, there's nobody to take it over. That's unfair. You should be able to inherit the property. The law of man seems cruel compared to the law of God. If I'm destined to poverty, why not live with those who do the same? Why not withdraw from the trials of the world? You know as well as I it's not safe out here. I don't know what to say. I suppose you should follow your heart? Can I trust it? It's a nervous and confused thing. As it is often before difficult decisions. I suppose so. But joining the Poor Clares is a lifelong commitment. I don't know if I'm ready for that. I don't think you should join the order. You're still young and have more prospects than you know. Joining the Poor Clares takes away that chance. People are always visiting, testing. Who knows, maybe you'll meet someone coming to see St. Moritz. I never thought of that. I do like seeing all the people who come into town. I don't quite want to give up on the rest of the world just yet. Besides, I still have Dad to take care of. If I joined the order, he'd be on his own. I don't think it's the right time for me to join the Poor Clares. Maybe someday, but not yet. Thanks for talking with me, Magda. I've had a lot on my mind. I'm glad I could help, Martha. Until later, be well. God bless you, Magdalene. God bless you, Sister Gertrude. Are you doing all right? Father Thomas told us about your father's attack. You were incredibly courageous to run to Dr. Stoltz so quickly, especially when the attacker could have been about. I didn't even think of that. I acted on instinct. I only knew Dad needed help as soon as possible. There's no doubt that the Lord gave you the presence of mind in that moment. I lit an extra votive candle in St. Satia's shrine for each of you this morning. Thank you, Sister Gertrude. Dad says that the pain has gone down, but Dr. Stoltz is worried about a brain hemorrhage. I might have some psyllium left in the herb hut. If you blend it with broth or warm wine, it will heat his brain and prevent infection. Thank you, Sister. I'm grateful for all the help. I pray you're right. I'm trying to keep busy with the mural, but sometimes I just want to cry. The Lord hears your tears, Magdalene. Take solace in his everlasting goodness. He will turn this for good no matter what things look like now. He sees beyond time itself, but we are constricted by the present. I've been around long enough to see his fruits even when I thought the devil had burned the fields. Keep faith, Magdalene. I'll do my best. God bless you, Sister. God bless you, Magdalene. Schon of Mauschwanger. Francisca. God bless you, Magdalene. I had been hoping to speak with you. Do you perhaps have a moment? Of course, Mother. How can I help? I had heard that you had taken up the mural in the rat house after your father's terrible attack. Yes, I'm excited to paint the town's history. Your enthusiasm and insistence is most troubling to some people in town. Some people? Yes, Magdalene, myself included. I understand how you must have struggled with your mother passing while you were so young. Without a maternal figure to guide you, it is no wonder your spirit has wandered and wavered from its nature. My spirit's fine, thanks. The pursuit of such trades is not for women, but men. As Paul writes, God calls women to work at home, not in trades. While supporting your father is laudable, taking on his work is imprudent. There are plenty of young men in tasking worthy of you, or perhaps you have a different calling. I'd like to offer you a place here among the sisters. Wait, who's saying I'm troubling, and how did you hear that anyway? Aren't you all stuck up here? Magdalene, your insistence to paint the mural has been the talk of the town. Even the sisters hear something of what affects tassing. But if you must know, Father Thomas suggested that joining the convent may be good for you. Oh, fuck off, Father Thomas. I agree with him. You both need to gossip. Isn't very Christian, Mother Francisca. I might have to... I assure you have nothing to worry about. Very well. The people of Tassing care for you, Magdalene. Do not forget that. If you do seek guidance, I am always available. God bless you. Father Thomas, I am going to get your ass. Oh, what can we do now? I'm gonna stop by these two and see if they have anything new to say. Good day, Father Thomas. God bless you, Magdalene. Might I have a word with you, Father? Of course, Magdalene. What's the matter? I've heard you still disapprove of my taking over the rat house mural. I see you spoke with Mother Francisca. I never meant for my discussion with the abbess to be taken for gossip, Magdalene. However, I am worried about your attitude toward your work. You displayed quite the insistence when you took up the project, and insistence that neither Mother Francisca nor I agree is healthy. Respectfully, Father, I don't believe this is any of your concern. Magdalene, you are severely lacking the wisdom to understand your situation. Your father is in no condition to guide you, and you've gone motherless for most of your life. Mother Francisca and I are merely doing what we think is right. You need some sort of guidance. We agreed that you might be more open to the idea if Mother Francisca presented it. You're a scoundrel, Father. I hear your concern, Father, but this isn't your place. If I need your help, trust me to ask for it. Yep. Of course, Magdalene, I apologize. I did not mean to overstep my bounds. The Lord called me to act, so I did. Shut up. Maybe I should have been meaner to him. Can I do anything in the rat house now? Can I talk to Ursula now? I wonder. Oh, who's got the baby, Ursula? Nope. Ah. Y'all, I am lost. Who else is there to talk to? Let me look it up real quick. Let me see if there's anything I can find. Let me... No, nothing new from you. What am I? Oh my goodness. Sorry, I'm looking and people are having other problems in Act 3. No, it's with the it's with the rat house. I think the only other... I might have missed one person to talk to. Let me double check on that real quick. Cause I talked to Voxlov, but I didn't actually talk to Smokey. I just realized. Good day, Mistress Druckerin. I've told you, Smokey, call me Magdalene. Old habits, I suppose. What brings you to my corner of the woods? More gossip? Only ancient gossip. I was wondering if you knew anything about the old pagan and Roman mines. The mines? Is this a new interest of yours, Magdalene? I don't see the townsfolk trek out there as much anymore. Last I saw were those two twins making trouble. They know a way in, but I'll be damned if I ever set foot close to that place. What are you so interested in over there? The mural in the rat house needs a section about the earliest days of Tassing. The mines are the oldest part of Tassing, and you keep a keen ear. I thought you might have heard something. I don't know about getting down into the mines, but I do know a fair few stories about them and the other Roman ruins around here. The old stories my father used to tell me when he was the burner of Tassing. The one about Mars and Tassia, the nymph, was always my favorite, though I blamed that on my youth. Tassia? Like Tassing? Folk named the town after a pagan god, a Roman one at that. I don't mind telling you the tale, Magdalene, but I warn you, it's a bit bawdy. Oh, count me curious. I won't be scandalizing you. Can't have your father hounding me for my any coarseness. But I'll tell the decent bits of what I remember. Everyone excludes me from the fun. You'll have your fun in time, Magdalene. You just wait and ugh. What's the story? Well, legend says that Mars was hunting in these woods and spied a fat boar for the taking. He just pulled back his spear when he heard a woman scream in terror. Of course, the creature ran off and the god was angry at the loss of his quarry. So he tramped through the woods to see why a woman was in the forest and not in the local town. Why would a god be hunting in Tassing's forest? How should I know? Maybe he just wanted a brisk walk. Besides, why should anything the gods do make sense? These were the old days when spirits and ghosts prowled. What do you mean prowled? Prowled, you know, like spirits and other evil things do. I can't just say they walked through the woods like you or me, they prowled. Alright, keep going. So Mars found a nymph, Tassia, bathing in a spring, with a fat, ugly satyr goading her from the shore. Enraged at seeing the trapped nymph, Mars transformed into a wolf and slew the satyr. And in return, well... Tassia bathed the god. Ha, I get it, they bathed. I see. I did warn you, Magdalene. When Mars left the pool, he dripped onto the ground and it blossomed with flowers and crops. They say that's why this valley is so fertile. How do I know that's a real legend? Tell me, what makes a real legend, Mistress Druckerin? I can tell you it's older than any other story I've ever heard. So much of what the Romans left behind was destroyed over the years, but I like that we still have these tales. You can never really destroy stories as long as there are people to tell them. Of course, the Romans left a hell of a lot behind, too. The town is more Roman than Bavarian, really. The town was named after Tassia. We are part of the Holy Roman Empire. Ha, that we are, and not for a lack of trying. Tassing is actually much smaller now than it was in the Romans' days. At least that's what I make of it. The ruins go deep into the forest and all the way to the old mine. Half of Tassing is built on Roman stone. Take a walk around town and you'll start noticing things. We use their stone to build. The old temple by Satya's shrine has grown over, but the aqueduct runs for miles. Even the abbey used to be an old Roman fort. You can see some of the Roman pavstones under the road if you look hard. We may not be Roman, but this town is. Tassing has been building upon itself for hundreds of years. What a beautiful idea. That's the way of things. Most people don't notice the old stones. Too busy in town to notice what's right in front of their eyes. Well, thanks. I should get going. Just keep an eye out for any wolves or satyrs you might see down there, eh? I'll let you know if I see any. Thanks for your help. Good luck, Magdalene. Be safe. I should get back to the rat house and get to work. Thank you. Thank you. I already thought you said that, but I guess you didn't. Fuck you, Father Thomas. Oh, finally! There we go. Hey Mags, how's the mural coming along? Magdalene. Can you let it go? Mags is so much easier. No, Otto Zimmerman, I can't. Don't call me. Fine. Anyway, Magdalene, how's the mural going? It doesn't look like much yet. Well, of course it doesn't look like anything now. I only just finished priming the wall. Now I have to decide what to depict. It's hard to piece together the history of Tassing when it happened so long ago. Since the Abbey Library burned, I can only rely on stories from people around Tassing. Even what I could find out about the Romans and pagans was obscure. I had to go into the old salt mine to find anything. At least now I know what to paint for the first part of the mural. So, what is it? I don't know if we want to... I do like the... I'll use the pottery and tools the farmers have found to show how he lived before the Romans. I'm sure Father Thomas will approve, but I don't know. Just sounds kind of... Alright, so what made you choose this story anyway? I thought it would be too risky to portray something really pagan or Roman. I suppose with all of the arguing, maybe this will be a good way to keep the council off your back. Thanks for explaining it. Of course, I want you all to understand why I'm making these choices. Well, now that I figured this portion of the mural out, I'd better start thinking about the next section. I'll leave it to you, Magdalene. Good night, Oates. Good night, Magdalene. Now that I've decided how to depict Tassing's earliest history, I should decide how to paint Kirsau's history. Mother Illuminata's letter mentioned that a Matthew Faustini Saus used to be a brother in Kirsau. She said he knew a great deal about the Abbey's history. I should write to him and ask him what he remembers. Oh, and I have Esther's letter to answer too. I should write them both now before bed. And I should read that old book Brigitte gave me. Let's do it. The old book. It was the Barons before Martin stole it. When the Romans, having conquered the town, built up the walls around it, they established many temples there. This is harder to read than I thought. The book isn't in great shape either, since it's been sitting in a farmer's house for so long. Let's see. Oh, here's a section about the various dedications erected in the town. That might be easier to read. Ergo simulacrum inaugurut Mars nostrum operem conspiciat. I raise a vision in a field so that Mars may behold our work. Huh. Sedit Diana locos scaturigonosis ipsa. Diana sat in a place with water oozing up from herself. What does that mean? Oremus ut defendat opissum. Let us pray so that he or she may defend the town. None of this really makes any sense. Maybe someone with better Latin than me could help me read it. The book is so big, though, it would be a lot of work. I could ask Sister Gertrude or Baltus for help. Werner, too, he's much better at Latin than anyone else in town. Maybe even Father Thomas, even though Dad warned me not to bother him with secular books. Chances are slim they could help, but it might be worth asking about. I should finish writing my letters first. Matthew... He's the Archdeacon of Sion now. I should write to him before the snows come. I'll write to Esther, too. I'm definitely not asking Father Thomas and Werner for help. Most revered Matthew Faustini Saul, formerly of Curacao Abbey. My name is Magdalene Druchterin. I'm the daughter of Tassing's town printer Klaus. My father and I are creating a mural for Tassing's Rathaus. We want to show the history of the town and the abbey. Mother Illuminata told me that you might be the best person to ask about Curaçao's early history. I understand you are a busy man, but we would be most appreciative of any information you could give us. If you know of any other places where we might learn about the Abbey's history, we would appreciate it. I know it may be small comfort, but there are many in Tassing who regret what happened during the revolt. Sister Gertrude is still here with the poor Clares, and she speaks fondly of the old abbey. Thank you for your help. Magdalene. Esther. Please forgive me for not writing sooner. So much has happened since I last wrote. Even as my last letter was en route to you, Dad was attacked in the workshop in the middle of the night. He survived, thank God, but his injuries are terrible. I worry about him. He's so dizzy he can't get out of bed. Some days his eyes become foggy and his memory fails him. Dr. Stoltz said that he's not going to recover, that it's only a matter of time before he succumbs to the injury. Of course, our good doctor is incompetent and a known drunkard, so he's been of little additional help. I can only pray that between resting and my ministrations, Dad can at least be comfortable. I have no idea who could have wanted to attack my father or why. I found a note by him too. All it said was stop. It wasn't from the shop because the script was written in the most elaborate hand I've ever seen. No one in Tassig has such skill in script, as far as I know. And anyway, I don't have the time to wonder about it. I've had my hands full running to the workshop alone while tending to Dad. What's more, the town council intended to cancel the mural entirely. I had a hell of a time convincing them to let me paint it instead. They made a fuss about my being too young, not experienced enough, not strong enough to be on the scaffold. You know how it is. I suppose I shouldn't have expected any better of them. Working on the mural has been a welcome distraction from the naysayers and my chores. And worrying about Dad. Otz has been coming over under the pretense of helping me prepare my paints, too. It's sweet and... I don't know. I don't want to decide for her. I mean... He's being the friendliest of almost anybody. He makes the days easier. I'd like to have the whole mural finished by Christmas if I can. I just want to finish it in time for Dad to see it. It would mean so much to him. If Dr. Stoltz is right, I don't know how long I'll have. I hope you're faring better than we are here. All my love, Magda. All right, we're gonna give it a couple minutes and then I'm gonna call it quits for tonight. Let's go to sleep. Mistress Strucker and a few more letters for you. Take care. Thank you, sir. Safe travels. The first letter is from Reverend Matthew. Mistress Strucker. Oh, he's got Rudiger with him too. That's sweet. I was not acquainted with your family during my years at Curacao. Even so, I remember your father was one of the townsfolk who prevented the peasantry from burning us alive. I am not overly inclined to assist the people of Tassing in their endeavors to catalog the origins of the abbey they destroyed. However, it was a long time ago. In the interest of posterity and Christian charity, I will tell you what I recall. Sometime after the Romans left, Christians settled in the region and built Curacao Abbey on the ruins of a fortress. The abbey was founded by a noble woman of the Curacao family. She was both its patron and its first abbess. Perhaps 2 centuries ago, Curacao changed to being run by an abbot. I do not know the reason, but many other double monasteries did likewise around the same time. It may have been done out of fear of being shut down, as double monasteries were frowned upon by the Pope. Sadly, that is the extent of my knowledge. Your neighbors put any other records about the abbey to the torch. Sic arsit historia Curcis. Thus burned the history of Curacao. While we cannot change the past, I have heard that Sisters of the Poor Clares have formed a new chapter at the abbey. I can only hope that their love of apostolic poverty has not driven them to impoverish the shrine of St. Moritz. Assuming they have not consigned the contents of Curacao's former occupants to a bonfire, you may find something in there. It is hard to be overjoyed at the news of your neighbor's late regrets. Many of the injuries inflicted 18 years ago will never heal. Regret cannot undo what has been done, but we can all find redemption through Christ. We must pray for love and reconciliation in the days ahead. In the end, that is all that matters. Winter comes swiftly. Huguenots and Lutherans plague my homeland. Huguenots and Lutherans, a group of French Calvinists known for their vocal and sometimes violent opposition to the Catholic Church. Thank the Lord you still live in a land ruled by the one true church. I hope this has been of some help to you and yours. May God keep and protect you. The Most Reverend Matthew Faustini So, Archdeacon of Sion. Another reply from Esther. Oh, Magdalene, I am terribly sorry to hear about your father. My parents send their deepest condolences. If we can provide you anything from Prague, you need only send word. I know we are further away than it is easy to travel, but I will see what we can do, what Hashem allows. The name in Hebrew. Father says that he remembers no one who would want to harm your father. Yet the night I was born, he remembers great strife in town. Perhaps there is old blood over depicting the night of the revolt. That is all he could suggest. We pray for you and your father every day in our offerings. Hashem will make all things right in time. He will exact justice on the culprit. I am encouraged to hear that the town council let you continue the mural at all. The guilds here would protect your right to complete a job, especially once a contract has been reached. You give the men of council too much grace. Why should you be forced to settle for their old ways of thinking? We live in a new age. An age where art and science have come together. An age where all may read the works of the great sages in their own language. Truly, when your father recovers, I urge you to come visit me in Prague. But I am glad you found some joy in your work on the mural. We are all well here. Elisha has been carving a new set of wood cuttings, and Father has agreed to a new contract with the university. I found Simon. His family didn't move far away after all. He's planning on working as a doctor in the city once the expulsion order ends. His parents have been meeting with Mother and Father quite often now. So I hope that I will be sending good news in my next letter. With Hashem's help. Please inform us of your father's condition in your next letter. Be well. Esther. That's all the letters I have for now. I should head home and check on Dad. Werner was supposed to come check on Dad today. I wonder where he is. Maybe I should try to find him later. Oh, good morning, Magdalene. Good morning, Dad. Feeling any better? Your fever broke at dawn this morning. A little stronger, all things in time. Do you want anything to eat before I leave for the day? I'm working on the next section of the mural today. I'm not so hungry right now. I'll be all right. Your letter from the Archdeacon. Yes, that's right. What did you learn from him? He didn't have much to say. He was still upset about the Abbey's destruction. He did say the Abbey was founded by a noblewoman after the Romans left. Everything else burned in the fire. How unfortunate. I know the brothers kept careful records of the monastery, so much lost in one night. The Archdeacon did suggest the poor Clares might have held on to some of the records from the convent. I should be able to learn more about Tassing's Christian history there. An excellent place to start, Magdalene. Sister Gertrude doesn't come out of the convent much, but I think it's worth asking her. Maybe Father Thomas knows something too. I should talk to him. If I recall correctly, the miller's wife has a long family history in Tassing. She may know something of the local history that the others have forgotten. Elsie? I thought she moved here when she married. She doesn't have any relatives in town. Not anymore. Age, illness, and marriage took the rest of her family. But the Caviezel's used to live all up and down this valley. Go talk to her, I will, thanks, Dad. Maybe something remained in the Abbey's ruins. I should definitely see what's left. Magdalene, you be careful. Those ruins are dangerous. I won't go too far into them, Dad, just to take a look. All right, wear a scarf too. It's getting cold out now. I can feel it in my old bones. Don't worry, Dad. I'll see you tonight, all right? All right, good luck. Alrighty. This is my stopping point for today. Doesn't it make any comment on when I last saved? I forgot. Yep, 20 seconds ago, okay. Thank you all for watching. We will pick this up again later. Tomorrow I will try to do some more Rebirth. I think we're getting close to the end for that. Let me see who is streaming real quick, and we will raid into somebody. Oh yeah, Barry. All right. All right. All right, raid is set up. Thank you once again, everybody, for watching. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a good night. Bye-bye.